Jaeger-LeCoultre, we have all of the watches from 2025, including this, the one that everyone's talking about, completely left field watch, a totally new way to wear a Reverso. It is the Reverso Tribute Monoface in all gold. Milanese bracelet, beautiful grained dial. This is a banger. Let's discover all of them in this video. Welcome to Time+Tide. Today it's JLC day, and I want to start with a wrist check because I have something extraordinary to trump you all. Tell me what watch is on your wrist, and if you're wearing JLC, tell me the details, how you got it, how you learned about this brand. This is the Reverso Tribute Enamel Charname, which has this unbelievable miniature enamel painting on the back. This has to be seen. Marcus is going to play some B-roll now. You'll see this watch. I have more JLC to talk to you about. And if you're feeling a bit of energy from me right now, it's because I am in the manufacture in the beautiful Jura Valley in Switzerland. And I have just spent the most incredible, electrifying 45 minutes with the returning CEO, Jérôme Lambert. And Jérôme looked me in the eye and said, man, I've done my time in corporate. He was actually CEO of the whole Richemont group. And I have rejoined, in his own words, his favorite watch brand in the world. So if I'm a little pumped up right now, that's the reason why. I have spent some time with the new boss, who's the old boss, and it's going to be a great chapter for JLC, including, I can give you a little sneak peek here, there will be a new Reverso entering the market with a 6 in front of it and the same caliber as the modern Reverso. So there are good things coming. I can't tell you more about that right now. I can just show you the 2025 releases from Watches and Wonders right in front of me. This is the business. They're all here. Marcus and I have been salivating over these for a few hours in this beautiful space, and now it's time for you to learn why. Let's start with the Reverso Tribute Duoface in 2 colors with 2 straps each. I'm going to start with the boutique edition. Now this is the black Reverso Tribute Duoface, and by Duoface it literally means this watch has 2 faces. On one side, we have a black sunray dial, which has a beautiful lacquer applied, giving the sunray some real depth. And on the reverse side, we have the white dial. And Jérôme told me a little anecdote about these Duofaces, which were first launched in 1994, that one side is for the subway, which is believed to be the white side, and one side is for Broadway, meaning that you get 2 very different characters, different purposes for these watches. What's different here, to drill straight down to the difference, is that the white dial now has this new dial configuration, which to me uses the space a little better than the previous version. Now, for those really eagle-eyed JLC fans, you will notice that this is in fact the same dial configuration as the Reverso Duoface that was in gold. We have the same recessed center dial and small seconds on the white side, but we now have double batten indices that sort of extend radially around that center dial, which gives much more depth to the dial and doesn't have that sort of empty clou de Paris space that was around the previous steel version. So here's one in black, the black dial, which comes with this denim and leather style strap that is a reference to polo boots, and it also comes with a blue dial, now which I just have to favor the blue dial here because there's so much depth in this stunning enamel sunray dial that is lacquered and given this incredible depth that you'll notice in light conditions. In dark conditions it just looks solid uniform blue, so we have the same white dial option on the black and the blue, and interchange strap optionality, meaning you can quickly change out the denim for the leather, and you can also quickly change out the deployant, which is also quick release and can be quickly changed from the denim to the leather. So which of those 2 do you go for? The black is so classic. It's a boutique edition, which makes it a little more exclusive, but I'm going the blue. Tell me in the comments whether you're with me or against me there. Another blue dial here, which on the surface can look like it's just a grand date version of that Duoface, is this insane. This is Jérôme Lambert's favorite watch for this year. It is the insane Geographic, which has a grand date on the blue dial side and a small seconds, but also with a little flip here, we see a significant complication hidden on the back. This is a world timer, and instead of the world map motif shifting with a twist of this handy little switch in the top of the case, something that has been an innovation since the triptych released by JLC. As you can see, you simply adjust it when you land in your new location by switching at the top. Instead of the motif in the center moving around, we have the actual disc rotating underneath with the night and day indicator in different shades of blue. What I resent about this watch is simply that it's Sydney, not Melbourne. That's my only complaint about it. But this really speaks to Jaeger's new intention to use Duoface watches not only to have two different expressions of a dial, but also to have a complication that can be incorporated in a way that reflects the original purpose of the flip case, which is to have more of a closed case back. So it uses this solid feeling closed case back, but incorporates a very handy complication and with a beautiful, simple aesthetic and easy to read motif. I would wear it with this side out all the time. I would need glasses to read the time, but I just think this is such a striking look. And of course, if you needed to see the time and date in a more easy to read way, you just flip it. So Jérôme Lambert, I see you on that, and that is your favorite. Do you want to know mine? And I've just been dying to get to this watch because it is screaming at me from this pack. The Reverso Tribute Monoface in gold. All the time, everything gold, from the Milanese bracelet, which when extended to its full extent as a single thread is 16 meters of gold. A really fantastic strap mechanism which allows you to loop the bracelet, the end of the bracelet, into this handy system and then simply close it. That actually really reduces the thickness of the underside of the bracelet on the wrist. And look at all these stunning finishings and tones and uses of this uniform gold collar. The dial is in fact not gold, but it has what I find such a contemporary finishing, this grain finishing that we saw in a Patek Calatrava that really made it seem more contemporary. We also have these gadroons in a brushed finish with the lug hoods really mirror polished. This comes together in a way that reminds me of the Vacheron 222 in gold, in that it uses so many tones of gold without being boring. On the wrist, this bracelet is a new era for the Reverso in terms of how this watch actually drapes onto your wrist. The Reverso can tend to ride high on leather, and it needs some time to get supple because, as you can see, the shape of the case necessitates the leather being really soft for it not to push it off the back of your wrist, whereas the Milanese, let's compare the two side by side. This is awesome. So here is a traditional leather strap, and here is the Milanese. Look at the way that just drapes straight down. And there's a very gentle camber to the Milanese strap and the way it follows the line of the lugs. So you really have very minimal, if any, push off that integration with the case. This is slinky, this is sexy, this is a game changer. I'm super excited about what this could mean for future bracelet options for the Reverso, because if, like me, you find that little push of the leather to be something you'd have to wait out for the leather to get more supple, don't worry, you have this stunning watch, which to me, fantastic contender to the 222 in gold, and significantly lower priced at around 37,000 euro, which again harkens to a new era of pricing rationale from JLC. Lastly, an absolute banger, the Reverso Tribute nonantième. Now this watch was released first for the 90th anniversary of Jaeger-LeCoultre, but this version takes it to another level because we have Champlevé enamel on the flip side, and it is spectacular. Look at this new version of the complication hidden behind that grand date and time and small seconds. Here we have a jumping hour, which uses the same mechanism as the jumping grand date, and we have a dragging minutes, as well as in the center, a moon phase that is a different motif. Now this jumping hour is what's known at JLC as a semi-jumping hour, and that is in order to extend the power reserve, the jumping mechanism has a dragging process that starts 5 minutes before the turn of the hour, It doesn't actually allow you to see any of the incoming numeral. However, it slightly shifts the hour to the right, and then boom, you do get a very satisfying and crisp jump of the hour, but it preserves power reserve, which allows the watch to have a very healthy 42 hours of power reserve, especially for a watch that effectively has two jumping mechanisms on the grand date and on the hour. Now, the dragging minutes, that disc just moves away as the time passes, and once again we have this different starry motif to the center moon phase. Now, again, on that front side, we have the classic slate and pink gold, which is the most delicious combination. And we have small seconds, moon phase, central time, and jumping grand date. So if you loved the 90th anniversary but wanted a little more from the reverse side, this is the watch. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. These are the highlight pieces of the year 2025. Jaeger are doing what they do best here. This is another Reverso year, and it's just basically hit to hit to hit to hit. And the pricing, very curiously, is at a level that is getting people talking, especially around this monoface in pure gold. What a lovely watch. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Jaeger-LeCoultre Tribe. I know you're out there, and I know you're hopeful for a new chapter for the brand, and I think you're going to get it. Stay tuned for more on Time+Tide, and see you on the next one.